What's going on to all of my Aries? So you Aries have the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Swords. You have the Tower. You have the Judgment, the Strength, the Devil, the King of Swords. You have the Six of Wands, and last but not least, you have the Four of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for you Aries is no major arcana that represents Aries, but the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Swords represents this being a situation for you where a lot of you need to understand that if you're going through some sort of, this is the premise, if you're going through some sort of breakup, or if you're going through some sort of loss because you're not with a person anymore, you shouldn't be really so pressed, because this person was not very valuable in the first place. Let's get into it. The Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords represents this person is talking about you behind your back and talking very disrespectfully about you behind your back. And the Nine of Swords is that, and this was while you were in a relationship with them. Even after you're not in a relationship with these people, they're still talking about you. It's just that they're talking about you even worse now, unfortunately. And the thing is, some of you Aries may be asking yourselves, well, why is it that this person is talking about you behind your back? The reason why is because they're suffering from a sense of worthlessness even when they were with you, right? You just stopped messing with them. So now you done broke one of the codes. You should have never have went ahead and actually stopped hanging out with them. Even though a lot of you Aries are more self-contained and you Aries are off doing your own thing and you're pretty much staying out of the BS, and you are going through that difficult talks with people so that you can excommunicate those fake individuals out of your lives. You Aries are in a situation where you need to understand what you've got going on here is you need to continue to excommunicate fake people out of your life. Stop. If this is just my suggestion is get rid of all of those people. All of those people that you need to have that difficult talk with, do that. Because as you will see, your life will pick up immediately. I said this before, when I used to hang out with certain individuals that I will not name, whenever it is that I'm hanging out with family or by myself, I get good luck. When I used to hang out with these people, I used to get bad luck. I used to step in gum, accidentally walk into walls. People used to go at me in public and just yell and go off. When I used to hang around these people, doors would close. You know what happened just 2 days after I stopped hanging out with these people? You know what happened after these 2 days that I stopped hanging out with these people? Just 2 days, just 48 hours, 48 to 72 hours. You know what happened? Immediately the ball started to get rolling again. So a lot of times people think that the spiritual jinx stuff is fake. No, this stuff is real. You got yourself into a situation where when you hang around these people, you bring favor into people's lives. Here's the problem though, they don't bring favor into yours. So the next step for you Aries, it's to step your game up and start being shining beatific lights. The thing is that you have the Tower and the Judgment. The Tower represents here by, again, having that difficult talk with those people that you need to excommunicate. And the Judgment, do it. Excommunicate them, because they're already talking very disrespectfully about you behind your back anyway. Talking about how it is that you ain't this and you ain't that, and you deserve to be disrespected, and you Aries are trash, and how dare you Aries stop because these people have problems, because they're not really, they're unstable. They're unstable. They suffer from instability, if you catch my drift. And people who do stuff like that, as I said before, their mind has been warped. They're not the brightest bulbs on a tree. Do you understand? Do you understand what that means? Being out of pocket is not it's not a state of having a low IQ. Having a low IQ does not necessarily mean what it is that you think it means. Being off the wall like that means that they have no inner decency. So because they have no inner decency, there is no inner compass within themselves that helps guide them for themselves. They do not have a certain amount of autonomy, and that's what it is that they are envious about. They're envious about you Aries in that sense. And this is why it is that I go at you Aries the way that I do. And I've noticed this because Aries people like to keep around very disrespectful and very unqualified people. So to be quite honest with you Aries are kind of living a slum type of life. I'm just keeping it 100 because y'all have mediocre friends, mediocre people around you, mediocrity all over the place. And what type of stuff is that for them to be very mediocre towards you? That's nothing at all. You want to go ahead and leave that alone if they're being mediocre. Find yourself some real friends. Find yourself some real romantic relationships. These is people who I'm also getting that these could potentially be people who tried to be friends with you, even though things and you didn't necessarily work out. And guess what? The friendship ain't even working out anymore. So what do? You got to tell them off. You got to tell them that you can't hang out with them anymore. Why? Because you got the strength card. They're still going to talk about you behind your back anyway. So you might as well excommunicate them. And then you have the devil. The devil is that you Aries are starting to wake up and see that these people are not meant to be trusted. However, you also are kind of scared and nervous to tell them off because you're giving them way too much credit and character, which they do not have. You have too much optimism and not enough pessimism, meaning that you don't see these people for who and what they actually are. They are envious of you, and they want to take what it is that you have. They want to hang around you because you Aries have the capability of being shining beatific lights, like I keep saying. What do I mean when I say beatific? This is where it is that you get the name Beatrice from, or Beatrice comes from Dante's Inferno, right? Or one of the literatures is Dante's Inferno, where Beatrix represented the spirit of or energy that would essentially be compassionate, be compassionate to Dante and grant Dante a certain amount grant Dante a certain amount of assistance, even though Dante is going through the underworld and going through trials and tribulations, if you catch my drift. But then you have the Six of Wands and the Four of Wands, which represents these are people who you can never actually build anything substantial with, because they do this with everybody, including the people that they give so much praise and accolades to. They're bribing those people to get those people to stick around. But with you, why you? Why is it that when you were dating these people, things didn't work out? Why couldn't they, at the very least, just bribe you? The reason why is because a lot of you Aries are stand up. They got envious of you. That's the problem. They got envious of your advancement. See, when people are envious of you, it's not a matter of them being envious of you due to the fact that you're an individual that has the nicest things. They're envious of you due to the fact that you are of charitable and generous nature, and that the achievements and your potential of what it is that you are potentially capable of, and you actually go and you get whatever it is that you set your mind to, is what it is that they are envious of. Why? Because they struggle with that very severely. So these people don't like it. Let's clarify the Six of Wands. You have the Six of Cups. They're going to come back. The Moon, the Emperor. Then you have the Seven of Wands. So the Six of Cups is, like I said before, they're going to come back. You're going to hear from them again. The Moon represents this being a situation where they're going to tell you everything that they think that you want to hear. They're going to tell you that they've been doing some real soul searching and they realize that you were the best. The Emperor represents you need to be able to see through it and see that you still do not need to go back to them because they're still running a game. And that if they really want to respect you or show their respect, they will leave you alone and they will never come back. See and observe their answer to that. If they have a serious problem where they just essentially start spazzing out on you and start going at you, then you know that it was never real to begin with. Because all it is that you're asking for is to be left alone, respectfully, right? So what's the problem? Why can't this person respect that? Oh, but they respect you though. Interesting. Let's clarify the Strength card. Let's clarify the Strength. Uh-oh. Come on. I think those orbs are gone, by the way. I don't think those orbs I don't think I'll ever see another orb as far as on camera like that pretty much ever again, because I banished them. But you have the Five of Wands, the Temperance, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, to clarify the Strength card. So to clarify this card. So again, they started to realize that things weren't necessarily going to be quite easy manipulating you as they thought, because you had already been much wise. You had been much wiser and hip to the games that they was playing. So what did they do? They would try to play the victim, even though they was out here trying to get something from you. Sad but true. Now let's clarify. Let's clarify the Devil card. The Ten of Cups, the High Priestess, the Devil, excuse me, the Death card, excuse me, and then you have the Eight of Swords. The Ten of Cups is about the relationship between you and yourself was not necessary, between you and this other person, excuse me, was not necessarily as clear as you thought, because again, this is their perception that they're trying to impose on you. See, a lot of times whenever it is that people run games, you see, they're actually trying to show you. When people run games on you, they're actually, I'll tell you what it is that they're doing. When people run game on you, they're actually trying to get you to see how they see the world, how they perceive it, which is distorted. So the flaking, a lot of times people flake because that's their own, not saying all, but that's their own delusion that they are trying to impose on you to get you to be all flustered and offbeat and unclear, because that level of uncertainty and delusion is how they perceive the world. And if you notice, I have a very slick smile on, because I'm going to make a video talking about that later on in the future. I don't think enough people are actually going down in this rabbit hole deeply enough and actually talking about this. So I'm going to do it. Then the thing is that you have the high priestess. The high priestess is about, again, if you have any kind of social media page, they are watching it. So what I suggest you do is post less. Then you have the death card. The death card and the Eight of Wands represent this being a situation for you where you also need to take into consideration that, yes, leave them alone. Because if they're so much better than you, stop subsidizing them. Stop giving them money. Stop giving them your resources, and see how powerful they are then, or if they'll fall from grace, right? Because they're so much better than you, because they're in constant competition with you. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm also trying to get this YouTube channel to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Please keep hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can get notified whenever I drop these videos. Thank you.